technical problems. Hopefully, we are going live right now. We'll see, but if not, hopefully we'll be getting it recorded where we can upload it later. I've been getting a thumbs up from John, so thank you. I see a notification. So do we have sound, John? And so, anyway, we have an interesting night. We are going to be finishing up step 8, and I can hear it, yes. And we're going to be finishing up step 8. Zach is going to be our MC. Alicia Jones is going to be reading the 12 steps for us. And Tommy, directly or indirectly, is going to be doing the step for us tonight. He may or may not tell you the reason why or what's going on there. I'll leave that up to him. And then Angie's here tonight. She's going to be doing our step reflection, and so we're really glad about that. So I want to the part that I normally talk about, questions, thoughts, quotes. I have some questions for you tonight, and we've been dealing with forgiveness, and I wonder if anybody here in this room or out there have ever had a problem with forgiveness.
No way, never, not at all.
You think?
And so somebody responded to that one time that they didn't have a problem because they never tried. And so anyway, and you know, a lot of healing, mental, emotional, spiritual healing, has to do with that type of work, coming to peace with that. And today, after I had everything pulled together, I was thinking about the 3 different things that we use for forgiveness. We talk about forgiveness. We talk about letting go. We talk about acceptance, right? And a lot of us, we kind of think they all 3 run together, or that they're all basically the same. But I think there's some nuance between those 3. And of course, forgiving is granting the pardon, dealing with that offense and able to cancel that debt. Now, that's the supreme one of the 3, as far as I'm concerned. Letting go, and oftentimes when you talk to someone about forgiveness or letting go or accepting, you know, most of the time, if you were in sync, you both had the same definition. But most of the time, the person you're speaking with has a different definition. Does that make sense? So letting go is to be able to stop thinking about what it has caused you to be angry. And you're able to let it go so that you're able to stop thinking about it. All right, would you agree with that one?
Yep.
And so that you're able to, and so you recognize it's the past, and so you say, well, it's not getting me anywhere, so I'm going to stop thinking about it. The third one is acceptance, accepting, and you see the sign here, it is what it is. Zach got that for us several years ago, and that's really dealing with reality and coming. Acceptance is recognizing that what has happened, and it's in the past. And instead of making the statement, I'll ask the question: can you change the past? Well, when we are not willing to accept it, then what we're saying then, if I'm not going to accept the past as being the past, then what I'm saying is, then I'm still trying to change it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, how's that work out for you?
I've got a time machine.
Yeah, if you do, but we don't. So acceptance is accepting reality the way it is, which is another way of saying accepting the past the way that it is. And so It's like, it is what it is. It's a fact. The past is a fact, okay? Now, you can either be mad about the past or not mad about the past, but you accept it. You don't have to be happy about it, you accept it instead of trying to change it. And oftentimes, when we're mad, upset, and unforgiving, is we're trying to alter the past. So, those are kind of the three different nuances of forgiveness. And I want to read a couple of questions here. I think I have them here. I'll read one, and then I'm going to go over the seven steps that we'll be talking about here, or 7 lessons. What are the habits of mind that genuinely sets us up from past offenses and wrongs? What is the habit of mind or the pattern of thought that generally sets us up from being either from being free or not being free from those past offenses? Okay? The mindset, the pattern of thought, yes.
Bitterness and rejection that's stemming from your anger. To the behavior to act out on the anger is to act in that sort of way, because it's not that you have forgiven him, you haven't forgiven yourself.
Right.
And dealt with it properly.
Yeah, well, both. You very probably can not forgive the other person or forgive yourself, but it's still, again, bitterness, resentment, but that's unforgiveness. And so that's the mindset or pattern. So the question is, are you working or running or using that mindset or mental pattern? Okay, the 7 lessons that we're going to be talking about tonight at the end of the meeting that I'll be sharing, how to finally let go and forgive someone, and that is, forgiveness does not mean forgetting. Number 1, we'll be talking about that. Number 2, forgiveness and anger do not mix. Number 3, forgiveness does not mean endorsement. We'll be talking about that. Number 4, forgiveness does not require reconciliation. That's an interesting one. We always have a good discussion when we get into that topic. Number 5, forgiveness is not one decision. I thought that was a pretty good topic to talk about. Number 6, forgiveness is not a feeling. Okay, we'll be talking about that. Number 7, and your road to forgiveness is your own. In other words, you have your own unique journey. Okay, those are some things we'll be talking about tonight, trying to get through that. And yes, ma'am.
What was number 1?
Number 1 was forgiveness does not mean forgetting. Forgetting, okay? Because the reality is, we can't forget. We can remember it less, and there's techniques to do that. But the fact of it is, God's the only one that I know that can forget, and I don't know how He does it. How's that? So, anything else? I'm going to turn it over to our Mr. MC, and then we'll go from there. So, welcome, Zach.
Alrighty, welcome to Saturday Night Live. How's everybody doing tonight? So, everybody have a good week?
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody awake? Well, it's good to see everybody. I've been out for a couple of weeks, and good to see everybody. So we're just gonna get right into it. So please welcome Alicia. She's going to read the steps for us.
One, we admitted that we were powerless over our problems and that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, we made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God. 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove these defects of character. 7, we humbly asked God to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to all of them. 9, we made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, we continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admit it. 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry it out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others and practice these principles in all of our affairs.
All right. Thank you, Alicia. We're going to have Tommy come do the step for us tonight. Please welcome Tommy.
Tommy, oh, Tommy.
Hi, everybody. You have to bear with me, I had some dental work done the other day. The Scapegoats. Bible reading, Leviticus 16, 20. I'm gonna have to have Sarah read this. I can't do this right now. Something new, you guys.
All changes saved. Scapegoats Bible reading, Leviticus 16, 20, 22. We made lists of all persons we had harmed, and became willing to make amends to them all. It is natural to hope that the people we have hurt will think better of us once we have sought to make amends. We may fear that there are some who will never upgrade their opinions about us, no matter what we do. In reality, they may not, especially if they have chosen to use us as scapegoats. Before the coming of Jesus, the people of Israel were instructed to select a live goat that would carry away their sins. Jesus became our scapegoat when He took our sins upon Himself. The priest was to place his hands on this goat and confess over it all the sins of the people. He will lay both of his hands on the goat's head and confess over it all the wickedness, rebellion, and sins of the people of Israel. In this way, He will transfer the people's sins to the head of the goat. Then a man specially chosen for the task will drive the goat into the wilderness. As the goat goes into the wilderness, it will carry all the people's sins upon itself into a desolate land. Leviticus 16, 21, 22. Some of the people we have hurt will use us as their scapegoats. Since we have hurt them, they feel justified in sending us away with more than our share of the burden. They unconsciously place the blame for their pain on us so we can carry it away. As their scapegoats, we play the role of removing something they were unable to deal with in any other way. Because of this, they may never welcome us back. We should be prepared for this kind of response, and realize that their behavior says more about them than it says about us. Yes, I fear the responses of some of the people that are on my list, that are still living because I honestly am apologizing. And I have a feeling that if they don't have someone to badmouth or treat unfairly, they could possibly be vindictive and bring more slander against me from my past or make up lies. So I try to just stay away from people and keep my circle small. I was thinking when I was getting my teeth pulled Wednesday of how many problems my teeth caused me. I was like, okay, now, I forgive those teeth, and I'm letting them go and they won't be causing me no more pain. And in a way I kind of thought about making amends with people from my past, and how after making amends with them they may not have anything to do with my future. And that's okay, because we are good, and if we do have an interaction later in life, we won't have to discuss how either of us wronged each other, or treat each other unfairly. And we can just get through whatever it is that has caused our paths to cross, peacefully and with respect. Hebrews 13:11-13, for the bodies of those animals whose blood is brought into the holy place by the high priest as an offering for sin are burned outside the camp. Therefore Jesus also suffered outside the gate, that he might sanctify the people through his own blood. So then, let us go out to him outside the camp, bearing his reproach. New American Standard Bible, 2020. God is not dependent on our powers, but rather lifts us up by grace above our failings.
Thank you.
Good, Tommy.
You wrote that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the top part, not the bottom part.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah, in the middle.
that was, the teeth thing was yours, right?
Yeah.
That was about some random guy, right?
No, that was me.
Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure that,
Yeah.
I don't know how you got your phone to read for you, but that was pretty cool.
No plagiarism there.
Yeah, okay, no plagiarism, all right. All right, that was pretty good, so, anyway, first for everything here at Saturday Night Live. And we're gonna have Angie come to the reflection, please welcome Angie.
Angie.
Hello, everyone.
Glad to have you back.
This microphone has not changed.
Hell, it's supposed
Well, it just keeps falling.
How about that?
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're doing step 8 tonight. We made a list of all the persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them. And we're, focusing on this scapegoat. When I looked it up in the dictionary, it says, a person who is wrongly blamed for something, or pretty much the fall guy. How many of us don't have a fall guy on speed dial there? But to me, it is not necessarily a person, but rather any excuse we can come up with for not doing something or taking responsibility for our actions. I personally have issues with this because I'm totally perfect, or at least I thought I was talking to Doug.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, for real, scapegoating has become my best friend at times, and the reality of it is that we all do it, and if you are anything like me, you do it way too much. If you're not careful, it just becomes a natural way of life. Don't think you use scapegoats. Well, let me ask you a question. When you are apologizing to someone, and do you have to ever, say like, I'm sorry, but you did this, or but I did this and you didn't do this? That but at the end of the apology is a scapegoat. Blaming someone or something else for your actions, you are not truly apologizing for your behavior, you are just making an excuse for it. I'm so guilty of this, a lot more than I'd like to admit. I've had to literally practice an apology just so that I don't use the but this. I want to just be truly sorry for my actions. I'm not responsible for anyone else's or how they reacted, the way they reacted, or the way they did only the way I reacted and how I handle it. I want to be sincere and focus on just being able to forgive others, and the most importantly, forgive myself, which is a whole nother story or topic we don't even have time for. So again, you know, I reintegrate that you're only responsible for yourself, your actions, no one else's. I'm the only one that can decide how I'm going to react to something or how I act in general. And trust me, I don't always act or react the way I should or make healthy choices. But rest assured, with lots of prayer, God always puts me in my place.
Amen.
Yes. Remember, don't give other people the power to make you react or act badly. In the end, you are the only one who suffers the consequences of your actions. For every action, there is a consequence to follow, whether it be good or bad. So I think scapegoats is something that it's reality. Everybody uses them. Everybody has done it, had it done to them, or they do it to somebody else. So I think that it can be an issue. That's all.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you, Angie.
All right, thank you, Angie. I had a quick thought I wanted to share on step 8, and I'm just gonna share it real quick, so. That was good, Angie, appreciate it.
Thank
I'm gonna read it again. We made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. And so, you know, we all know in recovery that we don't make amends to somebody if it's going to alleviate our guilt but hurt them. You know, like the example is, or the most common example is, you know, if you're cheating with somebody and they're married, and you don't need to go make amends by going and knocking on that door and telling that husband that they're cheating because it makes you feel better. And then walking away as that person that you were cheating with's life implodes. And I've had people tell me that would be the Christian thing to do, and I had to respectfully argue with them that is not the Christian thing to do. You know, God is not, He's not a God of destruction, meaning, you know, He doesn't go around and try to destroy people's lives, whether you're in sin or not, and all of us know that, right?
That's correct.
So, I just wanted to say, I wanted to bring that point out. And this, you know, kind of ties in with scapegoating. You know, if we're not careful, we